Let me hit you with the truth. The most painful part of betrayal isn't the act itself, it's the blindness. It's realizing too late that the signs were right in front of you and you ignored them. That's why today, on Female Code Unlocked, I'm breaking down 6 hidden signs your woman may be seeing someone else. Not the cliche signs you've already heard, but subtle shifts, the kind of signals that don't lie. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments with a simple yes or no. Have you ever felt that gut warning in a relationship? Your answer matters, because what I'm about to share isn't theory, it's a reality check. The difference between men who see the truth early and men who stay blind until it's too late. So let's get into it. Sign number 1. Her affection feels scripted. Men. You know when something is off, even if you can't put it into words. In the beginning, affection feels alive. She reaches for your hand without thinking. She kisses you like she means it. She looks at you with a spark that makes you feel like the only man in the room. That's real connection. But when that spark dies, affection turns mechanical. It becomes a performance, a checklist, a quick hug before bed, a flat "I love you," a half-hearted kiss that feels like routine instead of passion. On the surface, nothing looks wrong. She's still doing the motions, and most men tell themselves, she's just tired. She's just stressed. But deep down, you feel the difference. And that difference matters. Take Tom, for example. He's 52, runs a small auto shop, married for over 20 years. For most of that time, his wife's warmth was his anchor, playful touches, caring questions, even remembering the smallest details about his day. But then something changed. Here's a small test you can try. Step back a little. Don't initiate every hug, every kiss. Put the ball in her court. If she steps toward you naturally, maybe she's just been distracted. But if she doesn't move at all, you've got your answer. Her affection isn't missing by accident. It's missing because her heart is somewhere else. It hurts. But it's better to see the truth than to keep lying to yourself while she drifts further away. Because when affection starts to feel like a duty instead of a desire, it doesn't stop there. It always bleeds into the next area of life. And that brings us to the second hidden sign. She still said she loved him. She still kissed him goodnight. But Tom described it perfectly. It feels like I'm living with a woman who's playing a role, not my wife. That's exactly how it shows up. Affection without soul. Because here's the truth. Genuine affection is spontaneous. It makes you feel seen. It carries energy behind the action. When that spontaneity disappears, it usually means her emotional energy is being directed somewhere else. Maybe she's distracted. Maybe she's channeling it into another connection. Either way, it's no longer fully with you. And here's the trap. Most men fall into denial. They cling to the checklist. She still says I love you, so it must be fine. But words without emotion are empty. If it feels... Sign number 3, changes in her social media behavior. Let's be real, social media isn't just pictures and posts. It's a stage. And every post is a performance. When a woman is fully invested in you, her online presence usually reflects that. It doesn't mean she posts about you every day, but there are small signals. Photos together, subtle acknowledgements, or at least some trace of pride in being with you. But when something shifts, her feed shifts too. Suddenly, those couple photos vanish. It's all selfies, solo shots, or carefully crafted captions like "new chapter," "finding myself," or "living my best life." On the surface, it looks harmless. But beneath it, it's often a signal. A way of saying, I'm available, without ever using those words. Let me give you an example. Marcus, 47, works long night shifts as a nurse. For years, his girlfriend tagged him in posts, shared pictures of their weekend getaways, even dropped little heart emojis under his updates. But then he noticed something different. Her feed transformed. Solo pictures, new outfits, nights out with friends. Captions like "just me" or "fresh start." The timing hurt the most. These posts often went up late at night or on weekends, the exact moments she used to spend with him. She wasn't just posting for fun. She was rebranding herself. And Marcus knew deep down who that rebrand was really for. Here's why this matters. Social media is deliberate. A sudden change in her online behavior usually reflects a change in her emotional life. When she stops showing you and starts showing the world a version of herself that screams independence, it's not just about self-love. It's about sending signals, intentionally or not, to someone else. Now here's the trap most men fall into. Turning into a detective. Scrolling through every post, checking likes, analyzing comments. That road only leads to paranoia. Instead, step back and study the trend. Did she used to show pride in being with you? Has that pride vanished? Does her content project freedom and availability instead of connection? Here's a practical move. Track the tone, not the details. If her posts went from us to me, that's not coincidence. If her captions sound like cryptic diary entries, those aren't for her. They're for an audience. And if you're not part of that audience, someone else probably is. Remember this. Sign number 2. Her schedule suddenly becomes unpredictable. Think back to when things were good. She used to be consistent. You knew when she was free. She made time for you because you mattered. A woman who's invested in you doesn't just find time, she makes time. But when something shifts, her calendar becomes a mystery. One week she's free every Friday. The next she's too busy with no clear reason. She cancels plans last minute, but then pops up on Sunday for a short coffee. Nothing more. It feels random, it feels inconsistent. And inconsistency almost always means divided attention. Now, men often excuse this. She's just stressed. She's just tired. Sure, life can get busy, but here's the difference. When someone values you, even chaos has structure. They keep you in the loop. They let you know what's happening. But when she doesn't, that's not about work. It's about priorities. Here's the reality. Unpredictability isn't just bad luck. It's a strategy. By keeping her plans vague, she leaves room for other options. She knows you'll wait because you care. Meanwhile, she preserves her flexibility for someone else. That's why you always feel like you're waiting on her. Because you are. So how do you handle it? Again, study the pattern, not the excuse. If her availability is always last minute, if she's always not sure about the week ahead, that's a red flag. Here's a test you can run. Instead of waiting on her, set your own plans. If she says she's unsure, tell her you'll be busy and stick to it. Watch her reaction. If she respects your time, she'll adjust and make space for you. If she shrugs and keeps things vague, you've just learned where you stand on her priority list. And here's the truth. Time is the one resource you can't get back. If she's always unpredictable, she's silently telling you that you're not her main investment. And when her time with you fades, you'll see her attention reappear somewhere else, loud and clear. And these days, the first place it shows isn't in real life. It's online. That's why the third hidden sign is so important. Changes in her social media behavior. We've already talked about 2 hidden signs. 1. Her affection feels scripted. 2. Her schedule suddenly becomes unpredictable. Now let's move into the next layer, the digital world and her secret habits. Because in today's age, when her energy shifts away. Sign number 4. Secrecy with her phone. Let's make one thing clear. Privacy and secrecy are not the same thing. Privacy means having your own space, your own password, your own world. That's normal and healthy. But secrecy, that's when the energy shifts. That's when her phone stops being a tool and starts being a fortress. Here's how it shows up. You're sitting together, her phone buzzes, and instead of checking it casually, she flips it face down like it's classified. She suddenly stops texting when you're around. But the moment you leave, she's glued to her screen. The tension isn't in the phone itself, it's in how she reacts to it around you. Take Daniel, for instance. He's 55, drives long-haul trucks. For years, his wife left her phone on the counter, unlocked. Sometimes she'd even ask him to answer a call for her. No big deal. But over time, something shifted. Every notification made her snatch the phone. She flipped it over, carried it everywhere, even to the bathroom. One night, Daniel casually picked it up just to check the time. Her reaction was instant. Sharp eyes, tense body, yanking it away like he'd crossed a line. That single reaction told him more than any text message ever could. Because here's the truth. Behavior speaks louder than words. A woman with nothing to hide won't flinch when her phone buzzes. But when she suddenly guards it like it's a vault, it usually means she's protecting a part of her life that no longer includes you. Now here's where many men go wrong. They grab for the phone, they demand to see messages, they turn into detectives. And sure, you might find something. But even if you do, you've already lost. Why? Because the problem isn't the phone, it's the secrecy itself. If she's living a double life through that screen, the trust has already been broken. So what should you do instead? Step back and study the pattern. Does she only guard the phone when you're around? Does she take it everywhere when she never used to? Does her energy shift the moment it rings? Those patterns will tell you more than any text ever could. Here's a test. Ask her to look something up for you on her phone. If she's relaxed, that's fine. But if she tenses up, hesitates, or insists on doing it herself, that's a red flag. Her reaction isn't about the search. It's about what she doesn't want you to stumble across. It's painful to admit, but ignoring secrecy doesn't protect you. It just delays the truth. Because when she locks down her phone, she's not just locking down her device. She's locking down her emotional openness with you. And that shift bleeds into the next sign. Once her phone becomes a vault, her curiosity about your life starts to disappear. So far, we've uncovered 4 powerful signs. 1. Her affection feels scripted. 2. Her schedule becomes unpredictable. 3. Her social media shifts toward a single life image. 4. Her phone turns into a locked vault. Now let's dive into the last 2 signs. Ones that cut deep because they attack the foundation of connection itself. Curiosity and future plans. Sign number 5. She's no longer curious about your life. Think about the early days of your relationship. Remember how she wanted to know everything? How your day went? Who you spent time with? What your dreams and goals were? That curiosity wasn't just small talk. It was emotional investment. Every question said, "You matter to me. I want to understand you." But when that curiosity fades, the silence is loud. She doesn't ask about your work anymore. You mention a project and get nothing but a flat, "That's nice." You share a struggle and she changes the subject. Conversations that once felt alive now feel one-sided. You're talking into empty space. Why does this happen? Because curiosity takes energy. And when her energy is flowing elsewhere, emotionally, mentally, or romantically, she has less to give you. It's not that she doesn't hear you. It's that she doesn't care to dig deeper. This is where many men get confused. They tell themselves, "She's just stressed. She's just tired." And yes, stress or fatigue can make someone quiet for a night. But emotional disinvestment makes them quiet for weeks. That's the difference. So how do you spot it? Pay attention to the follow-up. When you share something, does she ask a second question? Or does she nod and move on? Curiosity lives in the follow-up. If it's gone, the spark is gone too. Here's a simple test. Share something intentionally vague, like, "I had an interesting conversation today." If she leans in and asks, "With who? What about?" there's still interest. If she brushes past it, she's emotionally checked out. That one moment tells you everything. Because a relation. Sign number 6. She becomes vague about future plans. One of the clearest signs of commitment is excitement about the future. It could be small, planning next weekend's dinner, or big vacations, moving in together, retirement dreams. When a woman is invested, she leans into the future. She imagines it with you because she sees herself in it. But when she starts pulling back, the shift is obvious. You bring up that trip you've been talking about for years and she says, "Let's see." You mention dinner with friends next month and she shrugs. "I don't know if I'll be free." Every future conversation gets dodged or delayed. Instead of building, she stalls. Instead of leaning in, she leaves the door cracked, just enough to keep her options alive. Here's the psychology. Vagueness is a shield. It buys her time while she decides where her real energy belongs. If she's seeing someone else, or even considering it, she won't tie herself to you long-term. Even short-term commitments feel like traps, so she dodges. The danger? You end up stuck in limbo, always waiting for a yes, always hoping for clarity, while she keeps you dangling, and the longer you stay in that limbo, the more power you give away. So what should you do? Stop accepting vagueness as an answer. If she says, "We'll see," don't just nod. Ask, "What do you mean by that?" Or, "Are you still interested in making plans with me?" Her response, or her refusal to give one, tells you everything you need to know. Here's a test. Propose something simple but specific, like dinner next weekend. If she wants to be with you, she'll commit. If she dodges or stays vague, that's not scheduling.
So if this video opened your eyes, if it helped you connect the dots, do me a favor, hit that like button so I know it hit home. Subscribe to Female Code Unlocked because this is just the beginning. And drop a comment below. Tell me which of these 6 signs resonated most with you.